Welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg. I'm Village President Al Larson. In this episode, we'll be joined by Roxane Benvenuti and Les Rolsky from the Septemberfest Committee. Then we'll talk to Paula Diaz and Theresa Bezella, Schaumburg's Fire and Police Departments. We'll close out the program by talking with Theresa Olvera from the Prairie Center Arts Foundation. All of this and more today here on Speaking of Schaumburg. Celebrating its 47th year, Schaumburg Septemberfest is sure to bring an era of excitement for the whole family. Roxane Benvenuti and Les Rolsky are here to tell us about this year's fest. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Well, thanks for having us.
When is Septemberfest? I can never remember that.
Oh, you can remember Septemberfest after 47 years of fun and excitement. First, I want to introduce to Les Rolsky. He's our Septemberfest chairman this year. He took on a new role this year with the committee.
So I have to be nice to him.
So, yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, nice. All right.
Go easy on him his first year.
All right. Tell me some of the excitement that's sure to bring fun to the entire family.
So, well, as is the case every year, we're going to have a great craft show and music and food, entertainment.
What's new from the year before and the year before and the year before?
Well, there's a couple of new things this year that we're going to be doing. Out in the main stage area, as always, we're still going to have free general admission. But new this year, we're having a section, a VIP area that's going to be between the stage and the front of house sound booth, and that will be a VIP area where people can buy a ticket per day. It's $7 each day or $15 for all 3 days, and that way it gives them access to go in and out throughout the day, and it'll open up a few hours before the first act. So we're going to be opening up the gates at 1:30 in the afternoon, so that way if people want to enjoy the food at Septemberfest, go on the rides in the carnival, shop the crafts, visit the other stages. There's 2 other stages to visit on the Septemberfest grounds, the local stage and the dine tent stage. They know that they don't really have to come out here at 6 a.m. and put their blanket down. They'll have a spot for them in that VIP area. But if people don't want to do that, as always, there will be still general admission area beyond that VIP section.
Now, what does a chair do? It sounds to me like Roxane does it all.
Pretty much, okay. She does quite a bit, but we've got a large committee that works year-round to get the festival up and running.
How did you get involved with the fest?
Well, I volunteered.
That's how it starts.
One weekend, and that was over 20 years ago, and I've been on the committee 14 years. Okay. So the person that I volunteered is still on the committee, and I still talk to him, but it's been a lot of fun, okay? It's just, it's nice to see the community get together. And from young kids coming out for the carnival to the people that sit at the bingo tent, it's just a lot of fun.
Bingo's popular, isn't it?
It is. They fill that tent up all the time, and it doesn't matter how warm it is or how cool it is. They fill it up, and then they go over and have something to eat in the food tent.
So you volunteered some years ago, and Roxane captured you and pulled you in.
Did, and my predecessor did a good job of selling me, just like it was years ago when I volunteered for other things. It's just a few hours a month, but it's been a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah, well, it takes a lot of people to pull it off. We have 23 committee members because there's a chair and a co-chair.
That was my next question, right?
Yeah, I beat you to it. So, I mean, I read your mind. There's a chair and a co-chair for each area of the festival, and that committee handles. In case something. Yeah, it's always nice to have 2 people who can handle what needs to be done in that given area. So, and I'm kind of the middleman between the village and the committee, and then there's 2 people in charge of each area of the fest.
Okay, besides the premier seating arrangement, what else is new for this year's fest?
Well, we're offering something else this year. So people are probably very familiar with Miss Septemberfest. That's girls who live in the Schaumburg Township area, Schaumburg Township, Village of Schaumburg. Ages 16 and 19 can apply to be on the Miss Septemberfest court. And this year we're offering an opportunity for the guys, and it's going to be called Septemberfest Ambassador. So it's an opportunity for the guys ages 16 and 19 who live in the area, Schaumburg, Village of Schaumburg, and Schaumburg Township, to apply for a scholarship opportunity and be involved in some of the events that go on during the Septemberfest weekend. Is
there a limit to how many people can, say, do the fest, or take care of the food, take care of the entertainment? You mentioned the big stage, the small stage.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of people to pull off an event the size of Septemberfest. But like I said, there's a chair and a co-chair that oversees each division. So there's a group that handles the entertainment, volunteers, sponsorship, parade, not-for-profit day with Septemberfest, volunteers, maintenance, all arts and crafts, all of those different areas of the
Who
fest.
judges the arts and crafts
But then,
show?
well, it's a juried event, and there's an arts and crafts chair and co-chair, and they have a subcommittee that meets and juries all the applications that come in to decide who's in and who's not. And they just mostly do that to keep, only so many of each media.
How many crafters are there?
It's right around 250 crafters.
You have a cap on that number?
Well, that's about the maximum we can hold, like around 250 spaces. But some crafters have 2 booths, and there's a couple that even have 3. So
Really?
because they need that much space to accommodate what they're selling. So the reason mostly for the jurying is to make sure that the items are handmade, and also that we limit the amount per media so that we don't have an entire jewelry show or an entire show with, floral or something. We try to mix it up so there's a good variety out there. And it's a difficult task.
250 crafters, wow.
It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, getting it all coordinated.
Yeah. Who's in charge of crafts this year?
Our committee is Jean Hahn and Barbara Murray are the craft team that work on that. And they work throughout the year. They get phone calls throughout the year.
What's your favorite part of the fest?
I've always liked the entertainment and the fireworks.
Okay, yeah. You're a kid at heart.
I am.
Well, there's so much entertainment too, because you used to do the local stage.
I did the local stage, and it's really great to see the young kids out there and the turnout from District 54, their bands and their orchestras, just to see these young kids out there performing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great to see their families come out, and it's nice to sit back then and have something to eat and watch the fireworks.
Yeah, and all the Park District groups
Oh.
and all the local dance companies too have all of their...
Is the parade part of your responsibility?
The parade is part of Septemberfest, so Labor
Okay.
Day parade
Oh, sure.
on Monday.
Okay.
So you usually get about 100 participants in the parade, because we try to keep it to about that 2-hour limit. Well, you're the...
Oh, sure.
You
Oh,
always
sure.
kick off the parade in the beginning, and so it's about 2 hours that it takes to
That's
go
helped,
through.
hasn't it? The change in terms of the board kind of advancing, a little bit of a head start going on there.
Well, yeah, and the parade committee tries to mix it up so that they have variety of the music, the marching bands, and then the walking acts, the floats. They mix it up so it's, a single file line that's a variety and not all clumped together with just all the music in one part. And so the biggest request we get is everyone wants to be first.
Really?
Everyone wants to be first because they want to get on with other things they need to do in their day.
How do you handle that?
And they don't like to wait in the line. And the problem is...
Rank has its privilege. Okay.
RSIP, yes.
It's a single file line. It's not a horizontal line.
Yeah.
So we have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And so unfortunately, we have to.
And how long have you been doing this, Roxane?
This will be my 21st festival, but I've been with the village for 26 years. So.
Well, sounds like it's well in hand. The transportation is really important too, though, isn't it?
Yes, we offer free shuttle service to get to Septemberfest. And so people can park at the high schools, the junior high, middle schools, and also intersections. And we don't charge because we want people to be able to get here easily and safely, and the buses run continuously throughout the day. So this year on the main stage on Saturday, we are having 2 opening acts.
15 seconds, tell us.
2 opening acts before each main stage band. And so Saturday is going to be Spin Doctors.
Okay.
Sunday, Lita Ford. And Monday is going to be a double bill of Tusk, which is a Fleetwood Mac tribute band, and also Seventh Heaven. It's a very popular group. And
Thank
we
you,
couldn't
Rox.
do it without our
Thank you,
volunteers.
Thank
Got to
you,
get our
thank you,
volunteers
thank you.
and sponsors in there. 'Cause without them,
2 words. Tell me
do it.
about the fest. Sum it up in 2 words.
Come out.
All right, that's good.
See you there.
That's very good. Very good. Public safety is a top priority for the Schaumburg community. Learn more next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. The summer heat is in full swing, and soon school will be open. Paula Diaz from the police department and Lisa Bezella is here from the fire department to tell us about this more. Yes. So school's going to be open.
Mm-hmm.
Summer heat.
Yes.
What do you do?
Well, when the summer's warm and people are maybe taking their last-minute vacations or preparing for school, and they want to get away before school starts, the best thing to do is, if you're going to go away on vacation, to contact the police department for a vacation watch.
Oh, well, what happens when you do that?
So you contact the police department. You can just call the 311 phone number and ask for a vacation watch, and they will ask you some questions about, if you're leaving cars in the driveway, whether you are leaving a pet that maybe somebody's checking on. But they will ask just some general information so that when the officers come by to visit and check your home, that they know, if the cars in the driveway are theirs or not.
How many out of these trips do you take? I mean, in a typical day, it's summer heat and...
So the officers try, depending on calls for service, they try to stop by a person's house maybe 3 times a day, but it all depends on how busy they are, if there's a more, if there's a call for service that they have to attend to. But yeah, the Vacation Watch is a great program for people that are trying to take their last-minute vacations before school starts.
So what does the fire department do during the summer?
Well,
besides put out fires?
Okay, well, there's a couple of fire and life safety issues that are especially important in the summer. A lot of people are grilling out in the summer, so they need to be mindful of fire safety there. They should keep their grills away from the home or anything that's combustible. Keep a 3-foot area around the grill as a safe zone where children and pets do not go there. They should never leave the grill unattended.
How many calls do you get from grill work? I mean, what?
It's not a whole lot, but every once in a while there'll be a call for that. We're just want to make sure people are thinking of that, of safety there, and I think people are in general doing a good job, but just some reminders will help keep that at the forefront of their mind.
How do you work together? Is there a togetherness thing with the fire department, the police department, in terms of programs?
Well,
and if it is, tell me about them.
Sure. We do oftentimes are asked or go to community events together and represent the village. We pass out information, talk to residents and other visitors about police and fire safety. So that's a very important part, the community outreach. So you'll find us at our open house. We'll be at the farmers market at the end of July. We'll also be at other events around the community.
How long have you been doing this?
Myself?
Yes.
This is my 3rd week. I just started. I've been in...
You're a real veteran, huh?
Yeah, but already I'm right in the mix. So we have a lot of events coming up. We're doing the National Night Out on August 1st together. So we'll see a lot of people.
Tell me about National Night Out.
It's an opportunity for the community to hold a block party at their location. And we, as public safety, village officials, even some of the local state representatives, go out actually to their homes or to their communities to visit with them.
How many are there? How many?
This year, we have 23.
23.
Yeah, we've had, actually last year we had 26, but due to some road projects, we have 23 this year, which I think is a great number. But it's just a really good opportunity for the community to get the visits and find out what's going on in their community.
How many folks from the village come and go through?
So we have the village officials are attending.
Yeah.
We have police and fire. We have the transportation department, the bike patrol. We'll go out and talk about bike safety. We have the village officials, and then we have our characters. The McGruff.
What's a character? Oh,
McGruff.
Warm days, they
Yes.
oh my heavens, yes.
Yes. Yes. They're wonderful. They're volunteers.
I was going to ask you if they're volunteers or
Yes,
do you
they
press them
are.
into service?
No, they're wonderful volunteers. And then we also have our alumni, our Citizens Police Academy. The alumni, they will go out and volunteer their time to visit
And
the block
there's
parties.
goodie bags we have.
Yes, we do. So we provide the block parties with some goodies like giveaways to give out to
Whistles,
the
I know
kids.
that.
Whistles,
Yeah,
right?
I'm a whistle person.
Yeah, they love those.
I give them whistles and I indicate somebody they can take it home and practice.
They actually ask for those, so they're apparently pretty popular. And then when our police officials go out, so we have our detectives and our patrol officers, as well as our special operations, our TAC unit, they will visit too, and they have giveaways to provide to the block parties.
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, 13 years, I think. Yeah.
13 years.
13.
What can you teach our young?
I think she's going to teach me a whole bunch of stuff.
We'll learn from each other. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We really do. It's most of the events we work together. We've been working together for like 4 or 5 years with Angela, who
The public education officer
right.
before me.
And so we would work together for the past 4 or 5 years.
Do you go into schools at all?
That's a main part of my job, is to go into pre-K through 4th grade classrooms to teach the children everything from at the very early ages, not to be afraid.
What do the kids ask you?
Oh, they like to know a lot about firefighters and the firefighters' lives, that kind of thing. And I'm there to teach them about fire safety, teach them to be comfortable, around firefighters for if there were an emergency. We don't want them to be scared of a firefighter in full gear, with the helmet, the face mask. That can be scary.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and then we ask them to teach their parents what they've learned. That's part of their homework. So that way, that education gets brought into the home as well, in terms of having an evacuation plan or cooking safety, because those are two of big topics that we want to get out.
I can imagine the kids reacting to that. Getting that responsibility that I'm going to teach my parents. Okay, this is what we learned.
Yes, my own daughter, she was in 4th grade last year. She came home and said, what I need to do when I'm cooking. I need to put a lid. I need to have a lid nearby in case there's a fire on the stove to cover it. And I was like,
teaching how to cook, huh?
That's a good point. Yeah. And at that age, they're very much into rules. So it's a good, they're on top of it.
Oh,
and
sure.
They're going to make sure their parents are.
When you go into schools or when you go National Night Out, you're in uniform too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we represent the village.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I come from a teaching background, so I'm very excited to get back into the schools and teach, the kids and represent the department in a positive light. And, I think it's a really important role, to prevent fires and address life safety issues, because that's a lot of what the firefighters work with as well, in terms of accidents or illnesses. So all that comes into their work.
Well, you do good. You guys do good work. You really do.
Thank you.
Yeah, we like what we do.
Thanks, Paula. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Good to see you. See how fast that goes?
That was.
You won't want to miss an upcoming night of comedy. To learn more next here on Speaking of Schaumburg. A fun night with comedian Patty Vasquez is coming to the Prairie Center for the Arts. Theresa Olvera is here to tell us more. Well, welcome to Speaking of Schaumburg.
Good to see you again.
Yes. Tell me about Patty. How'd you get her?
Patty has been to the Prairie Center, I think maybe 3 times before.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has been a while since she's been here. She's a comedian, a local comedian.
Yes.
She has a show currently on WGN radio at night called Pretty Late with Patty Vasquez. And she will be coming here on the 16th of September.
Really?
Yes, that's a Saturday evening, for a fundraiser to benefit the Prairie Center for the Arts.
Tell me about the fundraiser. Is it a foundation? Is it?
Yeah, it's being offered by the Prairie Center Arts Foundation. Again, it's on September 16th. Starts at 6:30 with a reception featuring food and beverage, and then the performance itself will start at 7:30. And Patty will be on her one-woman show. She calls it Patty Melt. And
Really?
Yeah. So we're really looking forward to it. She really draws a nice audience. She's got a very avid local fan following, and we're really delighted. She appeals to a wide audience, not just women, not just men.
Who recruited her? I mean, I'm kind of curious.
I reached out to her to see if she was available this fall.
So what do you hope to gain from this?
Well, obviously, it's a fundraiser, and the proceeds from the event benefit the Prairie Center for the Arts. Tickets are $50, and they include admission, they include the reception, they include a couple of drink tickets, a special gift, which is yet to be determined.
A special gift?
And yes, everybody will get a special gift for the evening. And
now you could tell me. Yeah, come on.
No, gotta wait. It's a surprise. And then, of course, reserved seating in the theater for the performance.
Okay, reserved seating?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
6:30 is the
6:30,
reception prior to the show, and the show starts at 7:30.
I assume there's hors d'oeuvres or...
Yep, yeah. We'll have local fare. Maybe in keeping with the Patty Melt theme, we'll have some fun food for people to sample from local restaurants.
What else do you do as far as the foundation is concerned?
Well, I am responsible for our fundraising efforts. So I work on sponsorships. We appeal to the general public for individual donations.
Who are some of the big sponsors of
Well,
the foundation?
historically, Motorola has been a big sponsor of the Prairie Center. Lynx Technology Solutions is also a long-standing sponsor. Schaumburg Bank and Trust has been a huge sponsor as well over the last several years. There are others as well. BMO Harris Bank, the local McDonald's. So there are a number of sponsors.
Which McDonald's?
The new McDonald's on Gulf Road. The family that owns it has been a supporter of our Arts Partners program.
Tell me about the Arts Partner program.
Arts Partners program brings second grade dual language and bilingual students from District 54 and Rolling Meadows to 3 performances here at the Prairie Center every year. And they're school shows aimed at the second grade kids.
What's the goal?
Many of the kids in this program enter the schools. They're maybe from immigrant families, and they don't necessarily have the language skills necessary to be successful in the classroom. So we help the teachers incorporate the arts into their classroom curriculum. And we expose the kids to ballet, symphonic music, and a culturally specific performance that appeals just to them, and of course their age group, every year. So they get to come here to the Prairie Center 3 times a year. They get to learn how to be an audience member. They get to learn about different forms of performing art. And then it gets tied back into their learning in the classroom.
That's something some adults could learn.
Well, we do have a program that reaches out to all ages in our community called Theater Buddies.
Tell me about that.
And Theater Buddies brings people to the arts that wouldn't ordinarily have an opportunity to experience live entertainment in a performing arts theater like what we have here in Schaumburg. So we work with agency partners like Children's Advocacy Center, Kenneth Young Center, WINGS, which is Women in Need Growing Stronger, and other area agencies to provide their clients with tickets to performances here at the Prairie Center.
How many of these young people do you serve?
Well, the Arts Partners program serves anywhere between 350 and 400 students every year. And Theater Buddies, generally, it's somewhere between 3 and 350 people in the community that we are able to bring to the arts. So it's nice because it kind of gives them an escape from their cares and worries, and opens up kind of a different world for them. And there are many children that are able to attend these performances as well.
How do you advertise them?
Well, mainly through our agency partners. The programs are both largely funded by grants. And so we use those funds to purchase the tickets and provide, especially in the Arts Partners program, we provide transportation, classroom resources to the teachers.
Transportation,
so that the kids,
school buses?
We line up buses for the kids, pay for the buses so that they can come from their
That's
respective
great.
schools
That's
to
great.
Prairie Center. It's fun.
You're
It's
doing
great.
wonderful work.
Well, thank you very
You know,
much.
I look forward
Thank
to-
you for having me.
I look forward to Patty.
Yes,
You know.
me too. Me too.
That will do it for this edition of Speaking of Schaumburg. Join us next month for an all-new show. Until then, I'll see you around town.